Hey, how's it going, folks? Well, WWE Clash of Champions just finished up here, and it was an easy pay-per-view to watch. There was some title changes. It wasn't anything spectacular, but overall, I would say it was a decent pay-per-view. We had some good matches. We had a couple bad matches. We had some matches that had a lot of potential, and we had some surprises along the way. As far as the actual matches goes, we had two matches on the pre-show. The first being Drew Gulak versus Lince Dorado and Humberto Carrillo, and the match started off a little slow. In the middle of the match, started to get really good, and then near the end there was some botched spots, and it really went downhill for the finish. Overall, Drew Gulak did win. I wanted to enjoy that match a lot more than I did. The middle of the match was great, but at the end it really disappointed me. Up next we had AJ Styles versus Cedric Alexander. It was a decent match. AJ Styles ended up retaining his United States Championship. Then we went into the Raw Tag Team Championship match for Braun Strowman and Seth Rollins versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode. I really enjoyed this match, especially how much they worked on Ziggler, how down and out he was, how much they worked on Rollins, how down and out he was, and then Ziggler and Roode being a cohesive unit. And at the end, where there was some miscommunication between Strowman and Rollins, it was, one of those classic things where guys who are in a feud with each other, having to work together, there's always some miscommunication, and that clearly got the best of them, as Robert Roode and Dolph Ziggler are now your new Raw Tag Team Champions. They both now are two-time Raw Tag Team Champions, each of them winning it once before. And then we had Bayley versus Charlotte Flair. This match, wasn't really into it too much. It wasn't too long. Bayley ended up using some heel tactics, exposing the bottom turnbuckle, and that's how she got her win over Charlotte. She retained the championship. And then we had SmackDown Tag Team Championship match, The New Day versus The Revival, and it ended up with Woods tapping out to an inverted figure four leg lock. The Revival are our new SmackDown Tag Team Champions. This was actually a decent match. I did enjoy this match. It was one of the highlights of the night. And then afterwards, the next match we had was Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross versus Fire and Desire. This wasn't anything special. As even in the middle of the match, there was like a 24/7 championship where all the guys were running out. It really made the match not even feel special at all. At the end, Nikki Cross and Alexa Bliss did retain their championship. And then we had Shinsuke versus The Miz. Sami Zayn was outside at first. He was giving his own commentary on the microphone, and Sami Zayn is great. I love the fact that they're putting him with Shinsuke Nakamura. Shinsuke Nakamura did retain his championship. Great duo, the two of them. The match was okay. It was pretty good. I did enjoy it. And then we had the Raw Women's Championship match, Becky Lynch versus Sasha Banks. I enjoyed this match. This was one of those matches where I watched it start to finish, and there was a point in the match where there was Becky Lynch accidentally hitting the ref with a chair. She meant to hit Sasha Banks, and then the ref was out for I want to say 8 minutes, as Sasha Banks and Becky Lynch pretty much brawled all through the stands, on the concession floor, the concourse there. They were fighting. They went all the way back, and the commentators then mentioned that Becky Lynch was disqualified. This wasn't something that the crowd knew happened, as they just continued to brawl, and then referees came out, and finally they announced it to the crowd at the end, as Sasha Banks was pretty much just getting annihilated by Becky Lynch. This is something that I do think they should square off inside Hell in a Cell next month. I do think that that's the direction they should be going with this, as Becky Lynch did lose the match, but she does keep her championship due to disqualification. And then we went into WWE Championship match, Kofi Kingston versus Randy Orton. This was another match I did enjoy. Clearly, they've had some great matches so far. In the end, Trouble in Paradise gets Kofi Kingston the win. He retained the championship. And then, final match, Eric Rowan versus Roman Reigns. No DQ match. This was like a brawl pretty much from the get-go. They used all kinds of different weapons, trash cans. They also used the camera jig at the top of the entrance ramp. Near the end, out of nowhere, shocking return. Luke Harper hits Roman Reigns with a big boot. That assisted Roman Reigns in getting the L in the match, as Eric Rowan did defeat Roman Reigns. And then in the main event, Universal Championship match, Seth Rollins versus Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman took a hell of a beating during this match. He ended up taking a few curb stomps. In the end, Rollins hit a pedigree and then a curb stomp for the 3 count. Seth Rollins did retain the championship. Afterwards, the lights did go out. Bray Wyatt appeared, and then he gave Seth Rollins the Sister Abigail on the stage, and then Bray stood over Seth Rollins and gave him the mandible claw. We go to credits. It does look like, in fact, Bray Wyatt, Seth Rollins happening inside Hell in a Cell. The advertising of them at house shows, that does look like it is happening. Any other feud, it does not look like it is happening with Seth Rollins. I know earlier we spoke on a feud possibly with Drew McIntyre. That does not look like it is happening. It does look like the original plan. Seth Rollins, Bray Wyatt, they're going to have a feud inside Hell in a Cell. That is the match for the Universal Championship. That being said, what did you think of the pay-per-view? Let me know out of 10 what you would rate it. As always, your thoughts, drop them in the comments below. And don't forget to DDT that like button and subscribe. Join the notification squad to be notified of new videos. And have a great day.